Good afternoon. Here's your tarot for the collective. It's been a while, but I am back. Welcome. Sitting in the sunshine here today. I feel like that can kind of resonate with some of you as well. Feeling drawn to the sun, to warmer climates, to feeling that sun upon your face, and just that overall cleansing aspect that the sun has, but also the uplifting, creative, vibrant energy that you can get from the sun as well. So perhaps some of you are feeling drawn to that, and there's a reason for it. So here we are with, I pulled 6 cards. I noticed right away here with this death card in the middle, got a nice little rainbow on it. This card to me speaks of, yesterday we had the Pluto return for the United States. And that's more of like a global kind of transformation. But again, like that can still affect, our lives as well internally. And I think more so today is the first day that we're into that Pluto return, but we're also in a Scorpio moon today as well. So I think that transformation energy is really powerful right now. And it is, again, on a global and a personal level. This card speaks to both of that, for me anyway. Yeah, that card to me is, it's the biggest catalyst of this spread here. To me, it's speaking of like a catalyst for change. And there's some kind of an intense renewal energy that's coming out of this too. But it's like, I look at these beautiful colors here in the middle, and to me, it makes me think of spring. And, as we're sitting here in the sun, I'm feeling like this energy of, as we approach the spring, as we go into the next month, there's this energy of new beginnings, this energy of, discarding, again, like discarding the old weight, discarding the winter energies. As we're in this last week of February here, we're like getting into the new year, as we get into Aries season in March, like that's that new fire, that new energy, that motivation, that inspiration. So like we're being asked to still kind of slough off some of that old dead, dry winter skin to prepare ourselves for this new beginning, this welcoming, this new spring of our inner being, I guess, is coming forward. And again, it's like the pruning or the getting of the area ready for that new growth to come in, so we can increase the abundance that we're trying to manifest right now. So it's like we're going through this transformative force energy, and it's like we're saying that we need to let go of, that old outlook, that old belief, that old system, that old way that we did things and manifested things into fruition, and the old way of approaching our harvest, and allowing for this new beginning to come through, and letting this change happen naturally, letting go of those old attachments to, controlling the change and controlling the flow, and just kind of letting it, come through us and welcome this fuller, this more fulfilled life. Again, with that energy of the sun, it's like that authentic, true, bright light of joy and happiness, and just like, that lightness of being, that energy of, like, when we see the Sun Tarot card, there's this beautiful child here, the energy of the exuberance of the child, the curiosity, the innocence of the child. And, there's something here, there's this big change or transformation that's already kind of started up. And like I said, this is just like that last little bit of this transformation, this big change. And it's affecting the way that our path is unfolding as we go forward. So we're in this like life moment of like a pivotal moment, like a milestone energy. And don't keep holding on to those things that are, they're blocking you from growing again, this blooming, this growing into this, springing up into this happier, healthier, more successful, more joyful person. So let go of those painful experiences, those old ideas, those grudges, those behaviors. Examine your relationships too, because again, we know that this Venus and Mars dance has been going on, and they're leading up into their final dance here, and they just went conjunct, and they're working together now. These relationships are transforming, they're changing, and they're asking you, perhaps as we went through the Venus and Mars retrograde, like things came up and we noticed the things that were holding us back, and now it's like we have these opportunities for new beginnings in these relationships and these connections, if we choose to accept it, if we choose to embrace the new, and again, it's like not think that things are going to be the same as they were, and sometimes this can say like there's some things that maybe were interrupted. Like, again, if we see this Magician card underneath, I think some of that underlying stuff too is like maybe there was something that was manifested from the place of those old outdated beliefs, and now this is saying like there's a new way to approach this. There's a new way to call in this abundance, this manifestation, this change in a more positive, healthy, like your outlook is different. Whatever happened in the Venus and Mars retrograde with your connections, like you're looking at yourself differently now. You're looking at people differently now. Like you can welcome in this change as something that, your intuition has guided you to manifest to this place. Because we look at the other cards too, and those really speak, like we've got this 3 of Cups here and this 9 of Cups here. So those do speak of relationships and connections and friendships, and this 2 of Swords and 6 of Swords, like this very interesting little bookend we've got going on here. Yeah, there's a definite shift in those types of connections, those whatever, there's an approach that's transforming. It's like a perspective. It's this beautiful balancing energy, this beautiful balancing of, the shadows and the light, the past and the future. It's like things are kind of coming into more of a balance, and we'll talk about that tomorrow as well, because that to me also speaks of the 222 energy that's coming in for tomorrow, and I'll probably pull some cards on that too, because that energy is very powerful. Like you can already kind of feel that shift in the energies coming in from that already. So I guess what I would like to look at next would be that Magician, because I feel like this is, again, it's like there's some kind of a transformation here, but it's more of a transformation that is less external, because we don't see the Tower card here. We don't see like the Wheel of Fortune, like pushing things into a different direction. It's like this is an internal transformation. This is a transformation that your intuition and the skills that you have and your creative energy, like you are taking a part in this transformation. This is something that is, again, it's like you're working together with your higher self to kind of work this through and manifest this. And your consciousness and your action and your creation energy is like it's you're taking charge of this, and you are the alchemist, and again, with this card of the Magician, that's a card of new beginnings. It's a card of beginnings. It's the number 1. It's like, this is, again, it's like as we go into Aries season, as we go into March, like there's this new energy in the air. And this is you too, like standing between the spirit world and humanity. Like this is, as above and so below, like making these connections, making these bridges. And it's like, again, we see that symbol of eternity above his head too. And this is like that beautiful flowing energy that we talked about of, you know, that we're getting into, that maybe some of that transformation is just like getting into that beautiful balance, that beautiful flow, that beautiful rhythm. And this card too says, like, you know, maybe if there were some blocks, maybe if there were some things that need to be released and let go of and things, it's like maybe you need to channel a little bit more power of the universe towards these goals, you know. And this Magician card is great when you need to make a transformation of any kind, or when you want to start a project involving, again, like we talked about, that energy of the sun, like that you need that creative juice to get you started on something. And you know, these are your wishes too, because when we see the Nine of Cups, it's like you're manifesting your wishes, your dreams come true, like you're working with the universe to make that happen. And this can also say too, it's like you're calling upon all the elements for your help and wisdom. And it's like, you know, you're calling upon your guides, you're calling upon your higher self, like with this Three of Cups too, like your tribe is, you're calling upon your tribe. There's a gathering energy that I feel like, a gathering of the tribe, and traveling to different places to meet with those tribe members. It's really interesting energy. Also too, this is like there's this period now when things are like falling into place, a time where as you go through this last bit of transformation here, you'll start to see that your efforts are going to yield some results. You're going to feel empowered, and you know, this energy of celebration comes from this card too. You're going to feel like, you know, your happiness is like right in the palm of your hands, you know, and you can see your potential. Like, again, with this Two of Swords, like if there's been something that you haven't been able to see, or something that's been blocked, like your vision will be clear around that now. And again, like traveling to calmer shores here as well. So, you know, it's like this golden window that could happen if you get through this last bit of transformation, if you get rid of all of that old stuff. It's like everything's going to go your way. You walk through this portal, the sun is shining. It's you know, you're remembering that you have this power to create these visions, to make them manifest into reality. You have this power to go through that transformation with grace and excitement and exuberance as well. And then, you know, you feel empowered. You have this sense of power because you are the alchemist, and you can wield that power with this beautiful compassion and kindness energy too, because I feel this Three of Cups too. It's like this connection with others that's really strong. And you know, perhaps again with this Two of Swords and this death, it was like there was something that needed to shift. There was something that was blocking your creative energy, or you were putting that energy into something that wasn't for your happiness. Like, you know, you were concerned about others' happiness and not your own, or you know, you were putting it too much into others and forgetting about yourself. And you know, you were working against yourself, basically. I feel like it, you know, and now that opportunity is kind of coming around where we can shift that energy. You know, we can step into the Aries energy. We can step into that fire, and we can really, you know, walk out of that fire like completely transformed, completely re-energized, completely, you know, the true alchemist of our own destiny. It's a really beautiful energy. So then I guess I would want to say, like, this Two of Swords here too is like, this to me speaks of there maybe there's been like some hold up in your intuitive hits, and you've kind of been, you feel like you've been kind of like manifesting from the dark, which can be because we're in this energy of transformation, this Scorpio moon. Like there is that dark energy to it. There is that unknown. There is that right before the big transformative growth, you're stuck in that cocoon, that place, that those darker waters here, you know, that we're starting to move away from now. So this is like, you know, you weren't fully informed. You didn't have everything that you needed to move forward. But I feel like it's like there's like a block. It's like perhaps you didn't wish to see or acknowledge the facts that you saw before you, because you were still looking at them from those old visions, those old ways of seeing things. So, you know, sometimes perhaps your higher self was purposely keeping you in the dark because you weren't ready. And if you remove that blindfold, you honestly face those facts, those problems, those consequences of your actions, you really saw what you really needed to transform out of, those outdated limiting beliefs. And now you're in this better place where you can make decisions from a healthier perspective, you know? So this card is saying it's like it's now the time has come up to assess and to choose things, you know, to again infuse that passion back into your manifestations, and, you know, look at all your options, look at your losses and your gains, apply all those tools that you have, that your intellect and such, to be able to pick a path and to move forward out of this stagnation energy. You know, there's definitely a stagnation. And also it's like maybe, you know, maybe there is some energy of like with this Nine of Cups, like you're being emotional here, you're following your heart, you're following your wishes, but like on the other side of in order to fully go through this transformation, like you need to find this balance between your heart and your mind. And maybe there's certain decisions that you need to look at the pros and cons and maybe not be too emotional about your choices. You know, make those decisions based on fact, you know, and many major decisions do involve pain and sacrifice and sadness. And it's saying like you need to maybe cut the cords, and you need to deal with these situations in a different type of manner, like focus on your own happiness, and again, you know, be logical with those dealings with others that are maybe those more painful scenarios that you haven't fully transformed out of those yet. You're still stuck in that place of pain. So, you know, maybe there's some energy that's like brewing around that, and within those connections we'll talk about the Three of Cups too. It's like you're stuck between these two difficult options, two difficult people, and you can't clearly see all the sides, you know. So you may need to again retreat, you know, use all the tools that you have available to you to maybe solve this problem and get a clearer picture. And again, it's like this Scorpio moon is going to help you with that intuitive energy, like going into that darkness and that transformation and coming out with you know, increased clarity, and, you know, getting into those painful feelings too. And maybe that is what's keeping you stuck, because you're keeping yourself in the dark. It's like this you're betraying yourself, you're deluding yourself, you're lying to yourself about something. And once you face that, again, that's where you can start focusing on your future happiness. The Nine of Cups is speaking to me now, and it's saying like, it's this is your wish card. This is your wish moment. And it's like, you're kind of blocking yourself from believing that these wishes can come true. Like you're holding yourself back, like your true happiness, your prosperity, the attainment of all of those things that you desired and wanted to manifest. It's like they're ready to come in for you. You're going to have things to celebrate with this Three of Cups and this Nine of Cups. It's like something is coming in that's going to be celebrated. This joy is coming in, this reward for all of this past manifestation work that you've been doing. And you might very well be getting those things that you've been wishing for, but you're doing something to like kind of block yourself from allowing this to come in. You know, this should be, you should be ready to receive this gratefully. You should be ready to, you know, expect this movement forward into these calmer shores, into this beautiful place. And you know, this can be, again, because it's connected here with this Two of Swords, like there may be a complicated emotional kind of messiness to this, but again, it's like, be willing to see that light in the dark, like be willing to see, you know, your desires will be fulfilled. And it's just gonna, again, it's just gonna take a little bit of shifting things and transforming things and using skills that maybe you've never used before to kind of get through this. You know, communication and openness, and you know, having that, all of those cups be ready to be filled. You know, this is your heart and all of your desires. And again, it's like, this is your prosperity and your fulfillment and your rewards that you've gotten from all of this transformation work and you know, this manifestation work that you've been doing. It really is like, you deserve these. You've put in the efforts. You have focused on your happiness and what you desire and what you wish to dream, and you've put in the efforts as well. And again, with the Six of Swords, it's like there's these better times ahead. Again, it's this change, this movement, this fire energy, and you're setting off on a new path, but maybe there's a couple more choices that you need to make before you can completely move forward. You know, you're moving away from these difficult, problematic situations. And again, it's like towards the unknown, the Two of Swords, like you don't have all the answers, but you know that it's like there's this hope and there's optimism energy here, and there's wish fulfillment. You can feel that in your bones, and you know that's where you're moving forward. You're going in through this, like, this transition period, and it's like, again, it's internal. It's letting go of all those past hurts and failures and losses and transforming into this like new way of being. You're starting this first leg of this new journey. Again, this new beginning energy. It's like a new journey. It's a new horizon that you're ready to let go of those attachments and allow yourself to sail towards this beautiful new horizon. And, you know, there are unknown elements to the situation, and perhaps you do need a little bit more clarity before you completely reach this shore here, but you have time. You can, again, it's like, now's the time to move forward and enjoy that journey, you know, and don't allow yourself to trap yourself up in this unknown energy, this fear, this, you know, feeling like maybe there's this external constraint that's preventing your path forward, but it's more of an internal, like, again, don't block yourself from moving forward here, you know. And it's like, don't allow yourself to drift far away from those things that you manifested and that beautiful happiness and those wishes that you should be celebrating this moment. And don't allow yourself to drift away, and don't allow yourself to lose sight of that hope and that optimism and that energy of those new beginnings. Don't allow yourself to drift away from your truth, because, you know, you and your higher self like manifested this as part of your, you know, your purpose here. Like, this is part of your journey. This is a really important time that, you know, you're being called to step into, and you're being called to, like, again, it's like things are coming together. Things are, you don't want to drift away from yourself, but also too, like, make sure you're not drifting away from others. I feel like there's certain very important connections that you're making with people right now, and creating this community, and it's a good time to build and nurture those friendships and form new friendships and new bonds and help others, and like enjoy this love, this Nine of Cups, this wish, this happiness, this energy that the universe is offering you. This is like, this is the card of abundance and the blessings that come because you're connecting and investing in your community. And if there, again, with this Venus retrograde, we probably went through some energies where we realized that, you know, there were certain friendships and partnerships or love relationships that there was tension there was difficulties. Again, I said there was maybe some blocks in communication. There was you were veering off the path of communicating and connecting. And now it's like taking some time again as we go into this 2-2 energy to balance those relationships out again, to evaluate those relationships, be honest with yourself about any negative attachments or behaviors that might be causing those imbalances, and bringing those back together, balancing that light and that dark, and that masculine and feminine energy. And again, the you from the past and the you in the future, it's like there's a merging, there's a bridging. This magician is building a bridge. You're building a bridge between your past and who you were and how you viewed things, to like the way that you are viewing them now, and the things that you're calling in, and the way that you're accepting the gifts that you have. You know, these are your just desserts. You know, you have put in the work, and some of it is a little combination of good luck from the universe, but it's also from, you know, you've manifested this. And it's like, do you believe that you actually deserve those manifestations? You know, I think that's the question here. And it's interesting too, because I peeked at this earlier. I always look at the underlying card, the Nine of Wands. It's almost like you're feeling like, well, you know, I don't know if I want to go through this again. It's this energy of like this wounding, but it's like you need to have confidence in the fact that you have conquered so many things. You're so resilient. You've drawn up the strength for this. And it's like, keep sight of those manifestations, keep sight of those dreams and wishes that you want. And, you know, don't be ready to defend those. Be ready to say, yes, I do deserve them. Yes, this is for me. Like, defend yourself and your true self. Like, this is truly what I want, and this is truly what I deserve, you know. And don't get discouraged when you get, again, with this Two of Swords, like maybe there's some unknowns, there's some little blips and bumps in the road, but you're still headed down that beautiful journey. You have what it takes to get through, again, like this one little bit of transformation, this one little blip, this one little battle. And, you know, we know that you're going towards that beautiful new horizon. And, you know, don't hesitate to commit to those. Don't, you know, stand up for yourself and your accomplishments, and don't get stuck in those shadows, and don't get stuck like defending yourself against the demons that aren't really there. You know, those are the illusions. Those are your fears and your past traumas and your past triggers and woundings that are trying to block you from this true happiness too. and you're doing it to yourself. And so, you know, put down the arms and allow yourself to trust in this process and know that you are strong and resilient, and that you've manifested this for yourself, and it is your true fulfillment. This is meant for you and only you. And this new beginning energy is, you know, is yours to step into. It's a beautiful portal that you can walk through. Absolutely beautiful energy. And again, I'm going to pull tomorrow because this energy is really, it's really foreshadowing the energy that we're going to be working with tomorrow as well. So absolutely beautiful. Glad to be back. And I hope this was helpful. Blessed be.